Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be a instant first impression on this bad boy here. This is the Rimmel, don't know if you can see that, Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Mousse foundation. Now I have had my hands on this for a while now and haven't used it, so I thought I would do a first impression on it. So I'm gonna do an instant first impression on this, and then I'm gonna set it with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I have not used this in years. Must be about 5 years. So I'm excited to try that. I'm gonna put on the foundation with a damp beauty blender because sometimes it does affect how the foundation works depending on how you put it on. So like with a brush or a beauty blender. I can't say that word today. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get into this video. So I'm not gonna put a primer on my face today because I wanna see how the foundation works without a primer, just on its own, bang. So I'm just gonna put it straight onto my face. It's really thick. Oh my God, it's really thick. This is in 100, so 100, Ivory. Okay, this is super thick. I'm thinking that my beauty blender might not work with this. Okay, here we go. That is full coverage. I think for Ivory, this colour is quite dark. But do you see how much coverage I just got out of that? Right, just for you blending in like the lower part of my face, I can tell you already it is so thick, but it does blend out nicely. I'm just concerned with how thick it is because it's so thick that I've got a feeling it's just gonna set in all of my lines, but it's so thick that you get an instant full coverage. I think for Ivory this is quite dark. If you are super pale, I'm pale but I'm not super pale. If I was super pale this would not work. Okay, so that is one coat, one application on, and you see how much I put on. I didn't put too much on, but I put enough on. I don't feel oily. I mean around the T-zone maybe a little bit, because by the time I blended all this in, I got to the top of my head, it like dried and set. So I guess what I would do for my second application is put a bit here, blend that in, put a bit here, blend that in, and here, blend in, and not dot it all over my face because it seemed to dry and it was really hard to blend out the top part of my head. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put another layer on just to see if it's buildable. The colour match isn't great. I think it's far too orange for an Ivory. I really do. But I'm going to see if it builds because I might love it because I do love full coverage. Okay, so now I have 2 layers of this foundation on, and I have to say I'm not loving it. It's so drying. So if you have the slightest bit of dry skin, stay away from this foundation. It is so dry, and I do not know how oily you have to be to use this because I'm quite oily, and this is crazy. Like when I look close, like from far away, I'm sure it looks absolutely fine. Even in my mirror here, it looks fine. But when I get like a little hand mirror and I'm like up close, I'm like, oh my God, thick is not even the word. It is insanely thick. Anyway, I'm gonna put my concealer on now. Do the rest of my face and then we can judge it. And the concealer that I'm going to use is the Catrice Cosmetics Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I'm going to use that in 020 just to cancel out any dark colours. What I like to do is use more of a darker colour first and then go over it when it's dried with a really light colour. So that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to use the same concealer again, so the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer in 010 this time. This is a lighter one. Now I'm I'm gonna set my face with the Rimmel Stay Matte Long Last Press Powder in Transparent. It's doing it. I can see it already. It's oxidizing. I'm so annoyed. Where is my... This one is seriously the best at setting my under eyes. I know this is supposed to be a review on Rimmel, but that did not set my under eyes properly. So this is the George Asda Get Set Press Powder. Right, so I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Rimmel powder. Let's see how that works. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. So now I'm going to continue to do the rest of my makeup, and I will be back when I've put all of my makeup on. Hi everyone, so I'm back. I've done my makeup now, and I'm going to get a close-up look at my face, and I'm going to tell you what I think about this foundation. Okay, first thing I do see is I have like laugh lines, and I see it sat straight into my laugh lines, which is lovely. What else? It hasn't really stuck very well to my nose. You can see all my pores on my nose. It just looks like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. That is, you know, it does look like I've got a lot of makeup on. Yeah, I don't really know what else. I know that in a couple of hours, in between my eyebrows, that is going to be cracked and all moved. But anyway, I've decided I'm going to just keep it on, and I'm going to film another video. I'm going to film my favourites, and then I'm going to come back and a bit later on and tell you how I think it's going throughout the day, because I don't know, I'm still unsure. Yes, it looks like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, but does it stay on? Because if it stays on if it stays the way it is now, then maybe it would be good for like a night out kind of makeup, you know, when you know you're gonna be dancing and just sweating. So I just wanna give it that benefit of the doubt and wear it as long as I possibly can wear it. So what time is it now? It is 12 o'clock now. I probably applied it at 11 because I've not really rushed doing the rest of my makeup today. So yeah, this is how it looks after about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna come back like 3 o'clock or something, and then I will see how it's lasting. But I'm convinced that between here is gonna be cracky, and all hair is gonna crack, and around my nose, and my nose, it's just gonna come off my nose. So we'll see. Right, I'm gonna get ready to film my favourites now, so I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hi everyone, so it is, what time is it now? 4:40, and yes, what do I think about it? I've just come upstairs now, and I've just got this mirror, and I was like, what do I think? Let me clip my hair back, and we can have a proper look. It still looks quite cakey, it does, but it's not moved that badly. I really thought that in between my eyebrows, it would just wear off. I mean, it's definitely settled a little bit, so it has curdled a little bit. Yeah, can you see? It's curdled a little bit in between my eyebrows, and my laugh lines look a lot deeper, and all around my nose it just looks really, let me try and zoom you in, it just looks really patchy right here. Really oily. So I'm gonna probably do one more check-in, but my verdict up to now is I don't think I'm liking it. I mean, it hasn't really moved that much, and I haven't put any more powder on, so it has stayed quite matte. And you can see a bit of a shine in between my eyebrows, but T-zone always gets oily. But I'm gonna keep it on for another couple of hours, and I'll, you know, show you my verdict. I'll tell you my verdict, but I'm pretty sure you already know what the verdict's gonna be. I'm not loving it that much, but we'll see how it lasts for the next couple of hours. Yeah, I really think this might break me out as well, you know. It's so thick. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna get back to my property show. Bye. Hi everyone, so this is my final check-in. It is, let me get my phone. It is 5 to 8 and I'm gonna take all of this off now. What do I think about this foundation? Honestly, I'm not loving it. For £5, if you want to give it a try and you've got oily skin, go and give it a try. But personally, it's just too cakey. And when I compare this to my L'Oreal Infallible Matte, this is just too cakey for me. It really does sit in all your fine lines and it doesn't ever feel like it's soaked into your skin. It does feel like if I touch my face, I could swipe it off, honestly. Does it stay matte all day? I haven't touched up all day, so this is how matte it stayed. I personally don't think it stays that matte all day, but yeah, I actually feel like I'm gonna break out because of it as well. I feel 2 little pimples appearing here because it is just so cakey. So yeah, that's my final verdict. If you want to try it, by all means go and try it, but for me, this didn't really work. What I might do is I might try and mix it with something that is very dewy and not as matte. So maybe the L'Oreal True Match maybe, and I will try and use it again, obviously, because I purchased it. I will try and use it, but yeah, it's not my favourite. It's definitely not my favourite, so that's that. Okay, I'm gonna go. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, and I will see you all in my next one.